Coco Gauff returned to the Pro Tour in Beijing today, and she already has a replacement for former coach Brad Gilbert. It's a name you've probably never heard of, but Coco and her fans are very excited about the new addition to her team. Also, Naomi Osaka seems to be making good progress with her new coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, after doing something she hasn't done in over 2 years on the court. Then in Tokyo, on the men's side, a lot of the top seeds bit the dust in the early rounds. Is the Laver Cup to blame? Hey, my name is Christian Bassnight, and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new content. Also, so you join Christian's crew, we'd love to have you. As I'm sure many of you all know by this point, last week Coco Gauff split with Brad Gilbert, her coach of 14 months, after losing to Emma Navarro in the US Open 4th round, a match where she served 19 double faults. Many Gauff fans were happy about Brad's departure because you could argue that he really didn't adequately address pressing issues in Coco's game, namely the serve. People were eager to see who Coco would choose for her replacement. Renee Stubbs' name was thrown around a bit. Naomi Osaka's former coach Wim Fizette was mentioned too, and then even Nick Kyrgios was brought into the discussion. Thankfully, Nick Kyrgios is not Coco's new coach. However, Gauff went with a rather newer name, appointing Matt Daly to her team. The 45-year-old Daly previously coached former ATP World Number 10 Denis Shapovalov, and he played college tennis at Notre Dame University before going pro and playing a bit on the future circuit. But fans were more excited about Daly being an apparent grip specialist. Matt, who has coached numerous high-ranking juniors and pros, specializes in technique, specifically grip changes, and he is the co-founder of Grip MD, a device that helps teach players correct grips for different shots. Daly will work alongside Jean-Christophe Farrell, Gauff's longtime coach, as well as Felipe Luna, who joined the team at the end of last season. Gauff told the WTA Insider podcast that she has already made good strides with Daly in their short time together and is excited about the change. Working with Brad was really great, and obviously we had a great partnership. I think it was just time to do a reset, a refresh, and add some things to my game that I felt like I needed to do to have a better season next year. Already, the little we've done has made a drastic improvement to where I was 3 weeks ago. At this point, there's not a crazy amount like going through a whole technique change or resetting everything. It's just subtle things that doing it for a week now will help me. There are other parts of my game that I want to work on too, but the focus right now is the serve. When I serve well, I play pretty well. For me, that's the basis for my game. I'm really excited. I think this is probably what it will look like the next year too. I'm super excited for a change and hopefully to improve other parts of my game. I am very excited to see how Gauff and Daly will do together. I'm not mad at him for being lesser known either, as I feel like we need new faces in coaching anyways, instead of the same old few names being tossed around. I also think that it's promising that Daly specializes in grips and technique, which I think could be great for Coco's forehand especially. I'm also glad to hear that the team is really targeting that serve because, like Coco said, the serve can be a huge weapon for her, as well as when her serve is on, other aspects of her game are clicking. Now, Coco did win her first match under this new setup as she beat Clara Burrell 7-5, 6-3 in her China Open opener. These two played earlier this year at Indian Wells, where Gauff fought back from 2-5 down to the decider before winning it 7-6 in the third. This time around was more straightforward, but Gauff was still tested quite a bit by the world number 56. Coco's serve was a bit shaky early on, and she was broken 3 times in the opening set, and she faced a set point when Burrell tried to serve for it at 5-4. But Gauff showed incredible grit, winning 3 games on the trot to escape trouble. In the second set, as you could guess from the scoreline, it was much cleaner from Gauff on the serve and the forehand, and all was needed was that one break over Burrell in the 8th game to get the job done. The Frenchwoman had 2 chances to break back when Gauff served the match out, but the American showed why she is a Grand Slam champion, logging in when her back was against the wall. The stats are so-so from Coco. She hit 11 more unforced errors than she did winners. She hit 6 double faults to 1 ace, and she had a 65% first serve in rate. But considering that it was her first match since the US Open, I am not mad at it at all. A win is a win, and it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And Coco finished pretty strong, especially on her serve. Up next for Gauff is 26 seed Katie Boulter, who eliminated Taylor Townsend in straight sets. But I just can't help but look forward to that potential round of 16 match between her and Naomi Osaka. Speaking of Osaka, she scored her first come-from-behind win in 911 days, the 2022 Miami Open, beating 21st seed Yulia Putintseva 3-6, 6-4, 6-2. Putintseva led their head-to-head 3-2 before this match, and she played like it, breaking Osaka twice in the opening set. Yulia used her trademark variety and consistency to truly trouble the error-prone Japanese woman. It looked like it was shaping up to be a typical Naomi Osaka loss, besides of course losing the opening set, as Naomi, she had an early break advantage in the second set before the errors started piling up again and Putintseva broke back. Putintseva was in prime position to get the win as she was up 6-3, 4-3, 30-all, but Osaka did well to rein it in as she cut her unforced errors in half, which helped a lot. Really, all aspects of her game improved from that 6-3, 4-3 point forward, as her return, her serve, and then both her forehand and backhand were firing on all cylinders. The 2019 champ Osaka won the final 3 games of the match on the trot, and she claimed the last 9 of 11 games to extend her win streak in China to 9 in a row. I think this collaboration with her and Patrick is shaping up to be very, very successful. I've already noticed much better consistency from Naomi, and the decision making is much better, and I've noticed more margin on Osaka's shots, and it's just good that she has a change overall and having a coaching change and leaving Wim Fizette. I think it's more mental than anything with Naomi. I also think Naomi has the confidence of having a accomplished coach like Patrick behind her back, and just having a new voice can do wonders. And I think now she has the attitude to make the right decisions and play like the 4-time major champion that she is. She does not have to go for the lines and finish shots ASAP. She can rely on her solid ground strokes to really set up the point for her and then finish with those big kill shots. This win is big for Naomi for multiple reasons. First, it was her first time that she's won back-to-back matches since like the summer times, her Talkenbosch at least. So that goes to show it wasn't the greatest stretch lately from Naomi, but at least she's finally has won back-to-back matches. And then 2, as I mentioned earlier, it's her first win from a set down since the Miami Open in 2022 in March of that year. And I think that's major for her, to be honest, because for a while earlier in her career, she was known as low-key like the comeback princess or the comeback queen, the way that she could kind of flip matches on a dime. She has not been able to do that at all in this comeback, and I think that this win will give her confidence now to where that she can know that she can find that second gear whenever her back is against the wall. It's also good to see that Naomi has that nice balance of determination and joy and humor when she's playing, as it was funny to see her laugh at Putintseva when she was complaining about the noise coming from outside the stadium too. Naomi has a great shot at continuing her run in Beijing, now getting the world number 60 Katie Volinets, who took down 14th seed Marta Kostyuk in straight sets. Meanwhile, the feel-good story of the tournament, Shuai Zhang, is still going strong here in China. After snapping her record 24-match losing streak in the opening round against McCartney Kessler, Zhang beat an even higher-ranked American and Emma Navarro 6-4, 6-2. This is Zhang's first top 10 win in 2 years, as the 8th-ranked Navarro was playing her first match since reaching the US Open semifinals. The victory comes exactly 15 years after Zhang scored her first career top 10 victory here in China when she defeated world number 1 Dinara Safina. That win was historic, as the 226th ranked Zhang was the lowest ranked woman to defeat a world number 1 since the ranking system was introduced in 1975, and that record still stands today. This is an incredible story for this 35-year-old to have this moment at home after enduring such a hard stretch of her career, and it'd be great to see her go even deeper here in Beijing, and I think she has a solid chance of doing so, with her now facing the unseeded Greek Minin, who knocked out Anastasia Potapova. Meanwhile, there is a seeded matchup down there in this section between Diana Schneider and Guadalajara champion Magdalena Freck. Alicia Parks, who lost to Freck, had a good shot at winning this one in straight sets, but she fumbled a 4-1 lead in the opener before losing in 3. U.S. Open finalist Jessica Pegula got a winning start, beating Dan Perry 6-1, 7-6, and she now faces Veronika Kudermetova. Paula Badosa, meanwhile, gets the red-hot Rebecca Shramkova, who has won her last 13 of 14 matches, including qualifying after defeating 22nd seed Ekaterina Alexandrova. Lastly, the most wide-open section here in the bottom half belongs to Anna Kalinskaya, who narrowly was beaten herself by my girl Haley Baptiste in a 3-hour battle. Meanwhile, looking at the men's 500 going on right now in Beijing, there haven't been any surprises really thus far. Top seeds Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz won their openers. Sinner, he beat Nicolas Jarry 4-6, 6-3, 6-1, while Alcaraz beat the fellow 21-year-old Giovanni Impeci-Petitcart 6-4, 6-4. Sinner will not have to face a seed at least until the semifinals after Grigor Dimitrov, his projected quarterfinal opponent, pulled out ahead of the tournament. Alcaraz, by the way, got into a disagreement with chair umpire Raluca Alexandra Andre after he was given a time violation while holding a set point in the opener. It was Alcaraz's second time violation at that point, which meant that he lost his first serve, which he was not happy about at all. Still, he closed out the opening set and had further talks with the chair afterwards, expressing his disapproval. After the match, he told the press, "Obviously, I was a little bit mad about the time rule because I feel like I have no time. I have to run in between points. I have no time to have a break, to rest, or to breathe. I mean, if I finish the point at the net, which was the case, I have no time to go to the towel and do my routine." And I was a little mad about that. The blame really shouldn't be placed on Alcaraz here. He typically plays pretty fast in between points. Rather, it should be on the automatic 25-second shot clock, which goes into effect right after the point is completed. And Alcaraz also had issues with this automatic shot clock system in Queens during his loss to Jack Draper earlier in the year. I think this definitely needs to be amended, and it's just unrealistic to expect players to start the time immediately after the point is done. As Alcaraz mentioned, he's time to go back to the baseline and towel off and do whatever else. So for sure, hopefully the ATP will listen to his critiques. Now in Tokyo, only 3 of the top 8 seeds remain. Top-seeded Taylor Fritz was bounced by Arthur Fils in 3 sets in round 1. Fils got the retirement win from Matteo Berrettini in round 2 when the Italian cut the cord after winning the first set due to an abdominal issue. Fils now sets a battle of the biracials between him and defending champion Ben Shelton in the quarterfinal. Third-seed Casper Ruud lost in the first round to Jordan Thompson, who now plays home crowd favorite Ken Nishikori in round 2. And Nishikori, by the way, beat Marin Cilic in the rematch of the 2014 U.S. Open final. In the bottom half, Tommy Paul is the only seed remaining after both 4th and 7th seeds Stefanos Tsitsipas and Francis Tiafoe lost in the opening round. Tiafoe and Fritz lost to Brandon Nakashima and Alex Mickelson, respectively. Jack Draper, meanwhile, he continues his fine form after that run to the U.S. Open semifinals after knocking out 2nd seed Hubert Hurkacz in straight sets. Some might argue that Fritz, Ruud, Tsitsipas, and Tiafoe playing in the Laver Cup contributed to their early losses, which definitely could have played a role as they went from that slower indoor grittier surface in Berlin at the Laver Cup to now going to playing outdoors in the faster conditions here in Tokyo. However, you also have to know that the draw here in Japan was very tough, and all the guys they lost to were players who have had strong results all season. That is all for this new Asian Swing update, and let me know in the comments how you feel about Coco's new coach and whether you think that he will make a difference in her game. Also, do you think this comeback win from Naomi will indicate her trending in the right direction? I really hope we finally get that Naomi versus Coco round of 16 too. Also, do you agree with Alcaraz in that there should be a change in the shot clock system? Make sure you subscribe to and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post more updates throughout the Asian Swing. Thank you all again for your support, and I'll see y'all next time here on Christian's Court.